Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on tonight and talk to you about the CellSonic. Got a lot of people asking a lot of questions about what is it, what does it do, how much does it cost, and how often do I have to get it done. So I just wanted to come on here, have a Q&A, answer some questions, but in the meantime, I'm just going to read to you from our manual some of the things that the CellSonic is good for and what it's capable of doing. So the CellSonic is the world's most powerful energy medicine device. It heals healings of organs, tissue, bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, wounds, nerves, pain, and abdominal growths. Abnormal growths, sorry. It's non-invasive. It's no negative side effects, so there's nothing harmful about it, and no drugs before or afterwards. So it's pretty cool that way. It was actually originated in 1987, and it's considered shockwave therapy. The reason for that is because it's 25,000 volts coming through this cable here to the line, to the head. And in the head, there's a electrode which creates a spark, a bang in the liquid head. And that bang is the sound vibration which comes through the head and into whatever part of the body we're targeting with the head. And then from there, what happens is it'll break down any calcification in the targeted zone. So this has worked. We have used this on every body part imaginable. I've used it on myself, on all my knees, my ankles, my shoulder, my back, my spine, my head. Melissa's used it on her teeth, like on her jaw or around her teeth. And we've used it again for multiple clients as well, helping them to heal from various injuries or ailments. The cool thing about this machine is it was actually originally built to handle kidney stones and gallstones and break them up. And since then, what happened is it's kind of evolved where practitioners get their hands on these things and try it out on different parts of the body because you can't hurt anything. So if I can't hurt the patient, then why not give it a shot? And so it's been used on every part of the body. So what originally started as something that was only focused for breaking up stones in kidneys and gallbladder is now being used to break up calcification and just ailments throughout the whole body. It was originally designed only for people, and since then it's been used and helped out with various animals as well. So we've seen huge results with horses that have muscular skeletal disorders or just deficiencies or whatever. They use it on the horse, and the horse automatically sees instant results. And what I love about with seeing it on a horse is clearly a horse isn't going to fall into that placebo effect. They're not going to believe it's going to help them. They're just going to know it's going to help them, or it's not. And the cool thing about doing it on a horse and seeing it work is like, if the horse can't be faked out by it, how can we possibly fake out a human? We know that the thing works. We know that it actually produces results that we're looking for. So it's pretty cool that way. Still, for accidents and emergencies where you're bleeding out, stuff like that, you still need to go see emergency care and get taken care of there. But when you're dealing with like a broken bone, after you get the bone set, we've actually got one client, another practitioner actually, who they've had this done. He broke his jaw, and they set the jaw, and he used the CellSonic and Merigen. Only the CellSonic, only the Merigen, and within 4 days he was eating solid foods again. So it's pretty incredible how quickly this stuff works. The Merigen is used to help take the calcium that's floating around in our body. When we say you're told you have osteoarthritis or osteo anything, it means your bones are getting weak. And when your bones are getting weak, it's because the rest of your body is pulling the calcium from your bones and applying it as scar tissue or as calcification, which stops you from being able to fully move your limbs. So somebody can only lift their arm this high and the rest of it hurts because it's all calcified. That's calcium from the bones in that area have been removed from that bone, put into the shoulder to stiffen the shoulder up. We can take the CellSonic and CellSonic that shoulder area, and automatically, after doing one treatment, the client's going to notice a drastic difference. They may not get all the way up, although we have had that, but most of them are going to notice, like from here, they can get to here. So it works. This will also help heal the bone after it's been broken. So if you ever have a broken bone, you get it set, we can do the CellSonic on it, and it's going to heal way faster than just doing the regular, put it in a cast and leave it for 3 weeks to 6 weeks. Diabetes, it actually works on diabetes. We have a client who comes up to us from Mexico regularly, and he gets CellSonic on his pancreas, on his abdomen, and on the backside around his kidneys and stuff. And we load him up with a bunch of CellSonic pulses, and he's good to go for another 6 to 8 weeks. He doesn't do any diabetic medication. He just targets his diet itself, making sure that he's eating a good, clean diet, and just being careful with that, listening to his body, getting proper rest. And when it's time to come back and get another pulse of CellSonic, he gives us a shout, flies back up, sees us for a few days. We do different treatments on him, as well as working on the pancreas and keeping everything in his body. So rather than putting drugs in your body or having your pancreas removed or a kidney removed or a spleen removed, we can likely help you out with something like this. Now, it's not all about this and this only. There's other things that you need to do your side to help to improve your health overall. After all, what you've been doing got you to where you are. So if you can make some changes, you can change that trajectory of your life and give yourself a better life with more opportunities. Hopefully that makes some sense. It also works with ulcers and wounds. So anytime somebody's got an open wound or just swelling, inflammation, retaining water in their lower extremities, this is going to help, again, to flush it out, move it around, and allow your body to heal, rather than putting that fluid usually in the lower extremity. And so if you got fluid in your lower extremities, it's because you have a ton of inflammation going on in your body. Well, how do you get rid of that inflammation? Well, you can take multiple pharmaceuticals to figure that out, or you could just change your diet, do some energy medicine and some stretches that we provide to our clients, and heal on your own and do it naturally the way the world used to do it 150 years ago. Like, think about it. How did anybody survive 150 years ago? The doctors, there wasn't such thing as a doctor. They were practitioners like us. You went to, the medicine man, and the medicine man would help you. Well, what did the medicine man have? Well, they had natural remedies. Nothing from pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical never existed until the early 1900s. So if we can think about it that way and open our minds to this stuff was around, this has only been around since 1987, but the energy medicine has been around for centuries. My little friend here, the clapper, is great. This has been around for thousands of years. Not in the rubber format. They used to use like bamboo and sticks and stuff like that for clapping, but this works incredible for helping inflammation, helping to reduce the inflammation, helping to just remove toxins from certain parts of your body, helping to cleanse your lymph system. There's so many other things it's capable of. But these are the type of things that we're involved with and we teach our clients about. Guys that are on here, if you have any questions at all, just put them in the comments below. I'll read them and I'll answer your questions. This is all about Q&A. I want to help people to better understand what Marpe Wellness does, the equipment we have. And so I'm going to come on once a week and share with you guys a different piece of equipment that we have, what it does, and some of the experiences our clients have had with that particular piece of equipment. Otherwise, I'm just going to do some educational stuff, be on for about 20 minutes or so, educating and going from there. The CellSonic, again, it helps with erectile dysfunction. So for any man out there who's having erectile dysfunction issues, this machine here can help you out in as quickly as one treatment. Most clients recognize a huge difference in one treatment, and others definitely after 2 treatments. It's been rectified the problem basically. So anybody like that, you know, we're here to help, and it's all natural, non-invasive, no drugs. Fungus, so any sort of fungus. I actually had a client here today who has a fungus or parasites, and she had it removed from her chest. There was a parasite fungus that was growing out of her chest about 20 years ago, and she had it cut out, or so she thought. But there's another one on her back. There's multiples on her right now, but the one on her back, when I hit it with the CellSonic today, she could feel it where the one in her chest was, which led me to believe that if it's from her back to her chest, it's probably the same one. It's just growing or just moved itself. Or there's scar tissue from the one surgery to the parasite on her back. So I'm expecting to see huge results with that parasite moving on or being excreted from her body. And we're going to work with her over the next probably 4 or 5 months and help heal her from multiple illnesses that she suffers from. But she's got the right attitude. She's a positive person. She's happy and blessed with the life she has, and she just wants more for herself because she knows she deserves it, and we're going to help her to get that. Joint movement. I talked about joint movement a bit. There was a study done with a bunch of people in Europe, and the doctor would do a treatment, and left the patient, and 14 days later would come back and they'd do another treatment. Well, the patients were recognizing drastic improvements every single time. So it didn't matter, but the more treatments you did, the better the improvement. So the first treatment on this one client, they were totally numb from the shoulder down to the fingers, and they couldn't feel anything. So the first treatment happened, he didn't feel it. Come back 14 days later, and the second treatment, he started feeling and having tingling in his fingers and also in his shoulder, which was a great result, because it meant that there's life, there's energy back in that area again. And so because of that, they did another treatment 14 days later, and he started having feeling and mobility and movement in his hands, his arm, and his shoulder. And it just goes to show you, like, this machine can do so much for us. That's why we invested in it, because number one, it's the only one like it in all of Western Canada. And nobody else has this machine from Ontario west. So we knew there was an opportunity to help a lot of people in Western Canada to find and get the results that they otherwise wouldn't get anywhere else, or would have to go for surgery and still not get the results that they're looking for. So we're happy to have this machine and happy to help people out. I did talk about the kidneys already, but kidneys, there's a chart available in our library. It was compiled from Dr. Ramesh from India, of a lady receiving CellSonic treatments on her kidneys. She was reducing the weekly dialysis of her kidneys, regaining their function. New cells were regenerated. So that's all it says about this, but we've seen this time and time again, that new cells keep rejuvenating. It's kind of like stem cell rejuvenation. It's going to break up the the calcium on any of the mitochondria, which is every single cell has a mitochondria in your body. So when the CellSonic head touches that mitochondria cell, it'll break off the calcification on that cell, allowing it to spin freely again. A healthy mitochondria cell will spin at 24 to 2500 RPM. Somebody with cancer will see those cells in that area die down to somewhere between 400 and 200 RPM from 24 to 2500. So imagine what that does to your whole body. It's drawing it down. If I hit a fibroid, a tumor, a mass, an infection, an inflammation, a stage 4 inflammation, if I hit that with the CellSonic head, it's not going to hurt, first of all, because it's non-invasive. But it will free up the calcium buildup in those areas. And we all know that cancer cells they're pretty aggressive, but most of the time they're dead cells. So if we can break up the calcium off of those cells, allow in the area the cells to spin at 24, 2500 RPM, they're going to be freewheeling, happy, aggressive, positive cells to go in there and fight for you to beat that inflammation. And therefore it's going to take the bad cells, it's going to deteriorate them, beat them up, eat them up, spit them out, so that you can remove them from your body, heal your body, heal from the stage, whatever stage of inflammation you're going through. There's a study on lung cancer that was done that showed amazing results as well. I don't want to talk about cancer so much because that'll just get me shut off the web, but we can help in the healing process of various inflammations. And if you know anything about the big C, it's all it is inflammation. So we're happy to talk to people about it. Don't come to us when you have 2 weeks left to live. Come to us when you get diagnosed. Come to us before you get the surgery. Let us talk to you. Let us show you what other options are out there. The inflammation didn't start yesterday. It didn't just pop up in your body. You just finally recognized it. It's been in your body for a long time. So if it's been in your body for a long time, what's another couple of days to get educated on what your other options are before you poison yourself and cause more harm to yourself than you have to? Anytime you put a foreign object, a foreign body into your body, you're poisoning yourself. So if you can learn how to do it naturally, like they did hundreds of years ago, why would you not want to look at something like that? I mentioned Melissa and her tooth. This works really well on regrowing bone, rejuvenating, regenerating bone growth at any age. So for somebody who has to get dental surgery and has their dentist tells them that they have limited bone and they need to grow some more bone or put some cadaver bone in their jaw so that they can grow that into their own body, we can help you here with the CellSonic to grow your own bone rather than putting somebody else's bone in your body, in your mouth. And it'll happen as quick, if not quicker, than having a cadaver bone put in your jaw and waiting for that to grow, mesh, and heal before the dentist can do his next part of the surgery, which typically is adding the posts before putting the prosthetic teeth on. Movement's a huge one. We have helped multiple people with lower back issues with the CellSonic. Hip issues, a few people with hip issues, that one person actually down in Florida who has a CellSonic, their client was scheduled for within, I think it was 6 weeks, to get hip surgery. And she came and seen her twice and canceled the hip surgery because she had more mobility in her 80s with that hip than she has since she was 20 years old. And that's exactly what we do. Between non-surgical and the CellSonic, we can open up that scar tissue, that calcification, that limited mobility, and give you that mobility that you never thought you were going to have anymore. So this all happens, again, because of the energy that this machine can produce and place it in your body, allowing your body to absorb that energy and use it for nothing but goodness in your body to help heal various parts of your body anywhere on your body. If you have tinnitus, I've had tinnitus, I still have some, but it helps with tinnitus. If you have migraines, I've dealt with 5 different people in the last 2 weeks that have migraine issues. This is the season, I guess, for migraines. And I tell you, with non-surgical and some CellSonic, we have 2 people that have already confirmed out of the 5 that they don't have any migraines that they usually got every single day. So we can help with migraine headaches with our expertise of the non-surgical and the CellSonic. Muscle enhancement. Here was one I thought was kind of interesting, but you can actually increase your muscle strength by 12% in 3 weeks without any changes in diet or training, just with using the CellSonic. So for somebody an athlete that hits a plateau or who's looking to just get another edge up, this thing can add 12% of strength and endurance and energy within 3 weeks. So that's 3 treatments in 3 weeks and receive 12% increased strength within your body. Osteo. So anything with osteo issues, bone issues that are falling apart, flailing, crumbling apart, this thing can help us out. We're going to do some nutraceuticals as well for anybody who has any issues with osteo, but this is definitely going to be a huge part of helping you regain that calcium back in your bones. And we have a QR machine as well. It's a quantum resonance analyzer, magnetic analyzer. And what it'll do is it'll read the magnetism within your body, and it'll tell us the entire health of your entire body. And it gets very specific. We can look at the osteo portion of that report, and we can see exactly what your numbers are today before we start treatments. And then after a month from now or 2 months from now, we can see exactly how those numbers have changed through the diet, adjusting your diet to make it a healthier diet if you aren't already, the CellSonic use, and non-surgical and nutraceuticals. So we can help with all of that, getting osteo, putting the calcium back into the bones, and helping, doesn't matter what your age is. We can increase the calcium in your bones by removing it from your joints and your tendons and your ligaments where it's causing you issues. Even though you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, if you can't move like you were 20 or 30 again, then you have calcification. You have limitations within your body, not allowing you to have that mobility that you so freely should. And we can correct that with a few treatments. A few treatments of CellSonic, a few treatments of non-surgical, and you can have that mobility back again. It's up to you if you want to make those decisions. Ovarian, the ovarian inflammation, it helps with that. Any inflammation, I keep saying that, any inflammation, this will help with. It'll reduce the inflammation and improve the overall health of that body part. Pain removal, this works fantastic. I have a shoulder that's been dislocated over 100 times, and it was to the point where I was scared to use it. I was almost too nervous to do bench presses with dumbbells, and that's the only way I'll do it, because I want to create the strength and be able to hold the muscle, hold the weight with a single muscle versus having it flopping all around. And with the CellSonic, I hit my shoulder with the CellSonic, went and did a heavy weight workout, and I didn't have any of the strain or pain in my shoulder that I typically have. So we can do all that kind of things. Pancreas, they've had tons of success dealing with helping to heal the pancreas. Also psoriasis. Now here's something I would never consider, but psoriasis has been healed by the CellSonic. So feel free to call us with anyone with psoriasis or any circulation issues, and we can help you with that. We also have the cardio med bed just outside this room, and the cardio med bed is fantastic for helping out with circulation issues or heart issues, anything cardiovascular. So if you come to us and we do the QR test on you, and we see your circulation or cardiovascular numbers are really low or are not where they belong, we're going to recommend that you use the cardiovascular bed or the cardio med bed and help with that, along with possibly some CellSonic to clear some blockages and some non-surgical, and we can help you get that circulation, the blood flowing from limb to limb, top to bottom, and you're going to have more energy, you're going to feel younger, lighter, more strength, and just your memory as well will increase, which is pretty cool. Skin ulcers. Skin ulcers is another thing that this unit can help with, and it can heal. I've seen a study where a skin ulcer, it was basically flesh-eating disease, and the client went in and got multiple treatments, and before every single treatment they would take photos of it, and from the first to, I remember at least 6 or 7 photos, it was a drastic change, a drastic improvement. And so anything like that, this can help out with. Joint-wise, mobility-wise, I helped a young professional athlete, college, not professional I guess, to improve her ankle. She had a really bad wound on her ankle that rubbed on the side of her skate, which caused issues for her, issues in her strength, being able to skate with a powerful stride because it kept biting into the side of her ankle. And in one treatment, we gave her all of that confidence back and removed all the pain from the side of her skate into the side of her ankle. It increased her flexibility a little bit, not a whole bunch, but a little bit. She was already quite flexible. And it gave her the confidence to go back out there, and she's playing out in Boston right now for the college. And she's looking forward to coming back at Christmas and working with us over Christmas break to just give her more strength, more mobility, more flexibility, and a faster recovery time. So we're going to do lots of work with her as a client of ours. Yeah, and then the wounds. I mean, any kind of wound this thing can help with, whether it's a simple cut to, if you need stitches, you need stitches. I'm not saying come here, don't get stitches, but if it's a cut that's not healing, odds are there's infection in it. This thing can go inside because of the vibration, the sound wave, and it can kill that bacteria by getting the mitochondria spinning quicker in that area of the body that's fighting that infection or that bacteria. So it'll go in there and it'll help to heal the wound faster, which will give you a quicker recovery time in total because the wound will heal without the infection being stuck on the inside. We'll kill the infection, the wound will heal. Yeah, so that's about it on the notes I had for the CellSonic. Some of their stories that I would share with you guys have to do with just the belief system. We had a young girl in here that we talked about a couple of times. Check out our testimonials as well on Facebook. I also started a YouTube channel that's just going to be dedicated right now for testimonials and any updates in our business. But check that out. It'll be Marpe Wellness, Marpe Wellness AB, something like that. And has a ton of testimonials. But we have one of a young girl who her kneecap actually came to the outside and above. And the doctors wanted to do surgery on her. She was put out of business. She would play soccer. She was a dance. She would dance 4 times a week, like very active kid. Played badminton, basketball, you name it. She was out there doing it. And the doctors said, well, the only way we can fix this is to cut some ligaments or tendons, and we're going to pull it back to where it belongs, and we're going to tie those tendons and ligaments down, and basically we're going to limit the knee, but we're going to get you the kneecap where it belongs. And I said, come in, let me work with you, give me one chance at this. And so she came in, we did an assessment on her, we educated them, her and her mom, on a proper healthy diet. And then we showed them some exercises and stretches. She showed us some of the things that were limiting her movement. And I did some non-surgical on the knee, and she tried it out, and she had way more movement, even though she was scared, way more movement and no pain, just from non-surgical. And then I finished the non-surgical, and we did the CellSonic to add the healing, and she tried it again, and she had way more movement. Came back the next week, we did the whole treatment all over again, and she started dancing competitively again that week. And she says, like, she's never felt this good. Even though she's 12, she felt like it was somebody else's knee. She's never had this lack of pain, this little pain, no pain, and had all this awesome feeling of confidence that it wasn't going to fall out on her again, and she wasn't going to miss being a part of the team, the dance squad or her soccer squad or whatever. So she's super happy about that. We've seen her 3 times, and we're going to see her this weekend because she's Melissa's cousin's daughter. And we're gonna take the CellSonic up to Camrose this weekend. So anybody in the Edmonton Camrose area interested in some CellSonic, reach out to me, and we can maybe hook up and do some treatments on you this weekend while we're up in that area. And so yeah, she's loving life. She's confident. She thought it was hokey pokey. We've asked her what she tells people now when they ask her, and she's like, it's like witch medicine. I'm like, don't tell them it's witch medicine. Tell them it's energy medicine. So, because it's energy medicine. We're adding energy into the body. We're helping the body to heal. We had another gentleman was one of our first clients, had a good ½ inch of calcium built up on his SI joints on his lower back. He could barely walk. He could barely sleep. A couple hours a night was all he could get because he was always uncomfortable. It really affected his whole life. He had been fighting with that for 12 plus years. And once we removed the calcification and then cleaned everything up and added positive energy with the CellSonic, I mean, he comes to us once a month, hasn't changed his diet. That's why he still comes to us. But he's golfed on average, I think he's over 90 holes a week golfing. He hasn't golfed this much in his life is what he's told me. And his family and friends that he hangs out with can't believe it because he's a totally different person. Nobody's seen him with this much energy, this much mobility, and just so happy with his life, which why wouldn't you be when you used to sleep half the time and take all the drugs to take away some of the pain. Another treatment that we've done with the CellSonic that I can think of is we're working with who was I going to say now? Oh, with a gentleman who got in a really bad motorcycle accident. And this was over 10 years ago he got in this motorcycle accident, and his ankle was actually broke and hanging on only by the skin. It was dangling the other way. It was seriously only hanging on by skin. They got it all reattached, screws and everything else to keep it all together. And he's been battling with this thing for 10 years. He works in the oil and gas industry, so he's got the big boots on. And if go ahead and take a look at our testimonials, and you'll see some of his videos. His name's Rob, and he, in one treatment, we've seen massive improvements. So much of a massive improvement that we've seen the color that was purple. His skin was purple. And it actually came back to almost natural Caucasian skin color. It was still healing. I seen him 10 days later, and we did another treatment. And the part that I had treated before, the circulation was so much better and so improved that he's like, yeah, I want to do twice as much because we only hit maybe 25% of his foot the first time, or his calf and foot. And so we did more, and he's seeing more and more improvements. So we're looking forward to seeing him again, doing some more, but he's been busy with work. And so unfortunately, work's been stopping him from getting the healing he needs. but he says his life has already changed drastically, where he's getting more mobility, more flexibility, and way less pain than he's ever had, almost to the point where there's no pain left in him after 3 treatments now. So if there's any questions, put them up here. Happy to answer them. Anything about the CellSonic, anything about Marpe Wellness. I am going to come on here every week, same time, Tuesday night around 7 p.m. and just talk about a different piece of our equipment, and happy to answer questions. I don't want to inundate people. I know there's people that come on every day and stuff like that, but I'm not that famous, so I won't come on that often. But I do want to be here for you guys that are interested in healing naturally, in healing with energy medicine, and finding out what different types of energy medicine are out there and what's available to you, and what Marpe Wellness has to offer to those kind of people. So thanks guys for watching. Please leave some comments, give me some love, let me know that I'm giving you the right information at least, and again, ask questions so I can tailor the next stream to you guys that are here watching. It'll be 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Tuesday night. Have a great night, guys. Take care.